Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Guys, today I'm going to explain the first topic in calculus, which is known as a function. I will tell you about a function because if you don't know the concept of function, you can't do anything in calculus. Functions plays a very nice role in calculus. Without function, you cannot understand the whole concept of calculus. So I will explain you about a function with many ways. Okay. Today I'm going to tell you about the first way, how you can understand means how can you say that this is the function. For example, I have fx. Fx means y. And I have given you equation x plus 2 as a linear equation. Y is equal to x plus 2. This is simple linear equation, right? This y is also known as fx. Means if you want to write fx or y, both are the same thing. Okay, so don't be confused in y and fx. You can write y as well as you can write what? Fx. So I have written here fx is equal to y, which is equal to x plus 2. Now, if I say this x, what is x? So I will say x is a number. For example, if I say x belongs to R, what does it mean? X is a real number. Why I said real number? Because real is the set of all the numbers, you can say. When I say x belongs to even number or odd number or rational number or irrational number, maybe there are some restrictions. Okay, I can give you an example. If I say for example x belongs to E, it means here this x is an even number. So what are the number? What are the even numbers? You can say even numbers are 2, 4, 6 and so on, right? For example, I want to take 3. I want to take the value of x which is equal to 3. Can I take? I cannot take. Why? Because here I mentioned x belongs to what? E. E is an even number, but I want to take 3 and 3 is not an even number. So there is a problem here. I cannot write 3. In the same way, if I just write down here x belongs to O, and x is a number which is odd. So here we can say the odd number is 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on, right? Means I can write here 1. We can say, we can put the value of x 3. We can say x is equal to 5. But my question is, I want to take 2. Can I take 2? No. Why? Because 2 is an even number, not an odd number. So we cannot say here that x is even or x is odd or x is rational or irrational. No. I want to say that x belongs to R. When you say x belongs to R, it means x is a real number. And when you say x is a real number, you can take any value of x. Any value. You can take positive value, you can take negative value, you can take rational number, you can take irrational number, decimal numbers, whatever you want you can say. So whenever I have mentioned here x belongs to R, it means you are free to take any number of x from the real line, right? Y is equal to x plus 2. I can give you one example. If you say x is equal to 1, so when you substitute x is equal to 1 here, you can find the value of y. Just substitute here. So 1 plus 2, which is what? 3. So you can say y is equal to 3. So we have one order pair which is called 1, 3. So this x, this 1 is the value of x and this 3 is the value of what? Y. In the same way, if I say, because x is a real number, so we can take any number. For example, I say x is equal to minus 5. When you plug in here, you have y, and what is the value of x? Minus 5 plus 2. So y is equal to what? Minus 3. So what is the order pair? You can say minus 5 comma minus 3. This is the order pair. So this one is the order pair, this one is the order pair. We can find a lot of order pairs. Why? Because x belongs to real number. Okay. Now the question is, what is a function? In a simple way, for example, if I give you this equation, y is equal to x square plus 1. Y means fx. Fx means y. So don't be confused here. Here, this is our domain. I will tell you later. This is x, right? For example, you have a lot of values. This is x. Okay. For example, I am going to take x is equal to 1, 0, minus 1, 2, any values. And corresponding to this value, we will find out y. Means when x is equal to 1, so when you plug x is equal to 1 here, x is equal to 1, you will see the fx is 1 square plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. So you can say when x is equal to 1, fx is 2 or y is equal to 2. This is your fx, right? Your output, your range. Now, if I say x is equal to 0, then fx, just calculate fx. So fx will be 0 square. Fx is this one, x square plus 1. Now you are going to substitute 0. So this will be 0 square plus 1. 0 square is 0 plus 1. If 0 is added to any other number, this value does not change, so the answer is 1. So you can say this is 1. Next, if you say f is equal to what? Add x is equal to minus 1, right? So when x is equal to minus 1, again you have what? Fx, which is equal to what? X square plus 1. So this is f, and what is the value of x? Minus 1. So just put it minus 1 whole square. This is 1. So minus 1 whole square, which is, look here, if you have even power, right, the answer is always 1, the positive one, right? So 1 plus 1, so you can say this is what? 2. So it means when x is equal to minus 1, the function value is 2. And the last, if I plug in 2, again, x is equal to 2, okay? Then fx is x square plus 1. So if you just plug in 2, you can find 2 square plus 1, which is 4 plus 1. 2 square is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, so you can say the answer is 5. Means we have 4 order pairs, right? You can say we have 4 order pairs. What is the first order pair? 1, 2. We can say 0, 1. Then we can say we have minus 1. It was 2. And when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 5. Right? Just 1 minute. Okay, so these are 4 order pairs. In the same way, you can find a lot of order pairs, doesn't matter. So here, when x was 1, y is 2. When x was 0, y is 1. When x is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 2. And when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 5. Remember one thing, the first value is the value of x, and the other value is the value of y. And this is x, this is y. This is x, this is y. This is x, this is y. Means x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 1. X is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 2, y is equal to 5. How can we get the 5? We have this quadratic equation here, right? So these are the order pairs. So what is the meaning of the function in a simple way, in an easy way? Function means one value of x, just one value of x, means one value of x has one value of y. Okay, means one has, for example, one has 2, 0 has 1, minus 1 has 2, and 2 has 5. Means each and every value of x, we have different values of y. Means one value of x has one value of y. Means 1 has 2. So 1 does not have two values of y, right? So when you have one value of x, means one x and one y, one unique value of y, then you can say it is a function. If one x, for example, I have one x, right? But I have two values of y. For example, you can say 2 as well as 3. Means the order pair is something like this: 1, 2 and 1, 3. This is x and these are the y, for example. So one value of x here has two values of y, 2 and 3. Means input is 1 but output is 2. When you see one input, two output, it is not a function. One input has one unique output, then we can say it is a function. I can give you example. So we can say this one is what? A function. And this one we can say is not a function. Another example. A very simple equation. I am going to give you a square root function. Okay. Y is equal to under root x. Remember one thing in your mind. If we have a simple equation, y is equal to under root x. Okay. And I said to you, it is a function or not. For example, normal I'm going to ask you. So, for example, if I have y is equal to under root x and I say x is equal to 1. Normally if I say, okay, this is not a square root function. This is a square root function, but it has two cases. One, it will give you the standard result. Another one, it will give you a normal result, right? I will tell you later. So when x is equal to 1, and when you substitute here 1, here you can see y is equal to under root x. So when I substitute x is equal to 1, you will find the answer plus minus 1. Always, whenever you have under root x, you will find two answers. One is positive, one is negative. Why? Because 1 square is 1, minus 1 whole square is also 1. Right? So we can say what is the order pair here? When x was 1, y has plus 1, as well as when x has 1, y has minus 1. You can see here, when x is 1, right? Here I am going to put x is equal to 1. This is the value of x. So x is 1, this is x, and x is 1 here, one input. But here we have two output. One is what? 1, and one is what? Minus 1. So one input has two output. He will say that it is not a function. This is the definition. One input must have one unique output. Okay, if one input has one output, we can say, yeah, this is a function. If one input has two output, it is not a function, right? Okay. Remember one thing in your mind. First, we are going to discuss about a linear one, right? linear function. Linear function. First of all, I want to tell you what is the meaning of linear. Okay, linear function. When you remove this one here, for example, this linear, and you say, I will erase AR. Now you can say, it becomes what? Line. So you can say linear means line. So whenever you have a linear equation, it means you can say the graph of the linear equation is always a line. So whenever you have any linear, the graph is always line. It's a straight line, slant line. Okay? So linear means line. Okay? So so if I draw a line, okay, and I ask you this is what type of equation it is, you can say this is a line, so it will be 100% linear. Because the graph of the linear is always a line. Second, it is easy because the graph is given. But how can we say when the equations are given, how can we say that this equation represents a line? So now I have a general syntax. General syntax. General syntax of linear functions or linear equation. Function. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to write down one equation. AX plus by is equal to C. For example, AX plus by is equal to C, right? Here, this A, B, C belongs to number. For example, I can say here A, B, C, okay, belongs to real number, for example. For example, right? Here X and this is Y. Whenever you see the power X has one exponent, Y has one exponent. This one you see. Whenever you see X1, Y1 means X power 1, Y power 1. You can say that this is a linear. It's a linear. And if this is a linear, the graph will be, the graph is always a line. Always a line. The graph is always a line, right? So I can give you one example. Okay. For example, I have this equation 3x plus 4y is equal to 5. I have another equation with a different forms. Y is equal to 3x plus 7. We can say x divided by 3 plus y divided by 4 is equal to 1. We can say 2y is equal to 7x plus 3. Okay, and I have one more equation, y is equal to x square plus 3. So as you can say here, what is the power? What is the exponent here? 1. What about y? 1. So when you see x has one exponent, y has a one exponent, you can say this is a linear function. In the same way here, this is y. Y has one exponent, x has one exponent. This is also linear function. Here you can say x has one exponent, y has one exponent. This is also what? Linear function. And here also y has one exponent, x has one exponent. We can say this is also a linear function. But here you say y has one but x has two. No, this is not a linear function, not a linear function. Why? Because here y has one exponent but x has two exponent. So according to the definition of linear, we will say that x must have one exponent and y must have one. So if you see x has one, y has one, then we will say that this is what? A linear, and the graph of the linear is always a line. Right? So in my next lecture, we will give you a lot of equation and we will show, or we will ask you, is it a function or not? Okay, thank you.